Yeah. Mr. Glock. Yeah. Camo AP, I'm a soldier. I got old money, I ain't spent yet, this shit mold. Yeah, I have my way around this bitch, I'm having motion. Who the fuck you put up in this blunt? This nigga smoke. Blue diamond chain on me, this bitch match the ocean. 30 in my size, 30 jeans with no holster. Eyes on the prize, yep, I'm tryna stay focused. I'm living like a king, bitch, I'm not your local joker. All about my bread here, yeah, I keep that toaster. I be sipping red and my little bitch sip mimosa. I hop up out the bed, say a prayer and count my dope. Then hop up in my Lamborghini trucks with the dozer. Everybody know on me BK, I don't get no fucks. Wagyu steaks up on my plate, I came a long way from Cocos. Niggas talking this and that and they don't even know us. And niggas out here cloud chasing for a name, broke as fuck. If you came from nothing, put your rollie on and hold it up. Paper route, hockey team don't know nobody cold as us. Cutthroat be the gang, that's what I bang, nobody holding us. Real stand up, nigga, don't see myself folding up. We turned her into diamonds and I'm trying to turn these boys to dust. Fuck this money and these cars and clothes, this shit don't mean that much. Yup, I made a couple million plus to twist my fingers up. I don't give no fuck about no bitch, a bitch gon' eat it up. Either way, I'ma get mine, I don't play. I rip the 5, not the 6, but I still keep a drink. Got money all up on my mind, can't have no bitch in my face. Yeah, all I see is dollar signs and niggas on the side hating. Little bitches, little cheerleaders. That's how them niggas is. I mean, that's how them bitches is. Yeah.
Yo, ADB, this beat go crazy.
Yo, GG, turn it up.
If you hang with my ops, you gon' die with them. I be in the woods with them walkers, we gon' slide with them. Baby, I don't do no drive-bys, I'd rather walk and get 'em. Free my nigga FB, I did time with him. Baby, come and smoke clutch with the man damn. If he ever toxic, we gon' send him down. You see, that's my blood, bro, like flipping them. We ain't stopping this war till we get all of them. He ain't with the shitsies for the internet. You dumb bitch, 5 ain't into that. I walk up, give a nigga a head tap. And stop talking, nigga, go and check the stats. How you say 5, don't get close. But me and 100 always have to stand no. Bad bitches always on commando. She got a fat ass, but she can't keep it on the low.
Baby, come and smoke dogs with the crown and ran through so many guns, I never sold them. 40 count for my protection.
They be hype. Yeah, they be hype. That's what they be doing.
They said Columbus the one found America, judging by clarity, I found Pacific. Niggas can't fuck with me, be realistic. I got the Lord on my back like a Christian. Young nigga, hold out, I pray when I'm getting it. Don't go to church, but I pray every minute. All this damn water, not doing no dishes. Can't walk on water, but I know I'm gifted. I feel a little more that these niggas can't kill me. Every shootout, I feel God in attendance. Bought my first chain, I spent racks on the tennis. I'm about to go turn a cross to a pendant. Every little step, I know God done been with me. When she was bad, found the positive in it. Can't even forgive me, Lord, I done been sinning. I done got folks high like Bob and Whitney. Still in the streets, I be bobbing and weaving. Looking for an ox, I won't start till it's finished. Know this not right, but I'm never who started. But I bet I be the one who gotta end it. Take me a little while, do they want to play with Kenny? But when somebody get shot, now I'm tripping. They slid on me, but these niggas be missing. It ain't my time, God made that decision. But I don't think God picking my bitches. Cause all these bitches, I been with the devil. These hoes with the devil when they in they feelings. But I keep going back, I just don't listen. Bitch pussy water, I'm tryna dive in it. She say it's pure, I'm the only one hitting it. She said that pussy, they're worth a few million. Damn, am I going to hell if I kill it? Got this little other bitch, she said that her pussy water, but she got a man and some children. Girl, that's his pussy, he'll know if I drill it. God, if I steal it, tell me am I sinning? I'm a young nigga, I do a whole lot of shit. No, I'm not not perfect, not trying to pretend it. Just cause you see all these lights when I'm grinning, that don't mean I'm cool with how I've been living. Ain't been asleep, I've been up a few weeks, I've been working OT trying to give me some digits. My grandma told me God don't like to greet it, but grandma God know that I need a few tickets. Look man, I'm trying to make sure that we eating, some might call it greedy, I call it devoted. Doing this thing just to run up these rats, I know God can forgive me, cause God really know me. Been through so much, I don't talk about it much, but I'm going through healing, my mind been exploded. I talk to God, he up there with my broders. He let me know, they told me to stay focused. Put all this water on, now I feel holy. Put all this water on, now I feel holy. Nigga can't see me, these niggas can't poke me. I'ma be here for a while, niggas know this. Put all this water on, now I feel holy. Put all this water on, now I feel holy.
It's cold in here. I got 10 for me another blanket anyway. I'm doing 100. I'm on my way.
I grew up poor, so I'm addicted to extravagance. I don't wanna talk, now they call me arrogant. Shit's fucked, I ain't even got no management. It's kinda challenging, but I still handle it. She get 10 times wetter when I strangle it. The whole ambiance is set, I got the candles lit. She was shocked how this skinny nigga handled it. I yard my come from, pussy I don't ramp with it. Feds on my back, I won't change, I'm an activist. Ops on my snap, if they come, them are backing it. Me, I'm really living it, them niggas just rapping it. Listen to my raps carefully, there's no capping it. He can't take my bitch, I can throw my whole stack on it. I can probably take his for fun and give it back to him. M24, I'm in my own lane, driving at my own pace, and I ain't watching no face. Bet all the niggas I know from the old days still outside today, and I ain't seeing no change. Niggas feel entitled with their hand out, waiting on a handout, them niggas got no shame. I put diamonds on my neck, that shit represents the struggle. I went praying, I was sinning, I was living in the bubble. Now I pray for all my loved ones, I pray before I leave my house. I pray that this music thing keeps me out of trouble. I'm all lit, and she know it, and she love the way I'm humble. I'm running to the bag, I hope I never stumble. Niggas get the bag, forget the meaning, then they fumble. Make your chances count, there ain't many in the jungle. Neighborhood hero, couple good niggas died, then I cried. Now it's time that I get back on my grind. Neighborhood hero, we outside with the guys, we got pride. Come round, then it's buying on my life. Neighborhood hero, neighborhood hero, I'm the neighborhood hero. This was started with a plan, they didn't believe, now they understand. Brick City, A-Town, that's my neighborhood. A lot of shit goes down in my neighborhood. A lot of people don't make it out the neighborhood. I thank God I'm in a place that I can say I'm good. You gotta prove yourself or you get overlooked. I couldn't turn up to that show cause I was overbooked. I built an empire, don't play with it like Lola Brooks. It's up to you, but you get greeted with a loaded bush. It's up to you, you can holler her, but she's overstood. They asked me if I understand, I told them that I overstood. Make sure that Carter's good, he can't grow up in the hood. Make sure that mommy settles, move her out this place for good. The feds watching, that's the only thing that make me shook. You can't make this up, I should write a book. So much stories when you grew up in a neighborhood.
Hello, family. Drop a one in the chat if you could hear me. Okay, if you could hear me, hear me. Gucci. Right. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling today? Beautiful. Right. Drop in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. If you guys are on here live right now, you know, if you guys are tuning in for the recording, obviously welcome, right? Welcome, right? So this week, right, I'm definitely excited to see what we have just in terms of potential setups and potential moves. Ideally, overall, kind of what I was looking at just in gold in particular was a couple of re-entries. So for me right now, what we're going to currently do is we're going to go through a few things in terms of just weekly preparation that everybody should just be really going through and going over when it comes down to the market. So for those of you that have your notebooks or you have notebooks, what I would do is I would pull out your notebooks, I would pull out a piece of paper, I would pull out something that you guys could write on ideally. And what I want you guys to write down ideally is your goals for this week when it comes down to trading. Okay, so if your goal maybe is to make 5%, or maybe you made 5% last week, your goal is to make maybe 6 this week, you know, whatever your goals are, I'm gonna teach you guys how to set proper goals, because a lot of people don't know how to set goals properly, and that's part of the reason as to why you guys actually like don't hit your goals. Like, you don't hit your goals because you just set the wrong ones, right? So overall, right, let's see here, I'll just make this a little bit bigger, right? But basically, when it comes down to just the overall concept of really trading as a whole, okay? So when we have just our mindset when it comes down to what we should be doing on the charts, like a lot of the time, we sway our emotional self with the technical self, right? So instead of sitting here and taking a trade based off the sheer fact that the technical analysis is aligned with what it is that we want, right? Sometimes we take trades just out of the sheer fact that maybe we just lost a trade, right? Maybe we're looking to kind of make back what we lost on a previous trade. So what we have to be able to do is come into the market with just the expectation that we're going to lose, but it's just how do you manage your risk when you're obviously going through the trades, right? Are you somebody that is able to break even fairly fast? Are you someone that has just a consistent trading plan when it comes down to something that you follow? And really what I would say is the first thing that you guys should probably just focus on, right, is when it comes down to whatever your target is, whatever your goal is, your first goal. So I'm going to teach you guys how to set goals, like I said. So the first type of goal that you're going to be setting is going to be an A-type goal. Okay? So an A-type goal is going to be something that you've done before, or it's just something that you think you can do, right? So let's say, for example, maybe you've never gone and done something in particular, but it's like your capabilities as a human being, you genuinely believe that you'd be able to do something. Like, that is an A-type goal. Okay? So that's the first type of goal that you want to set. So ideally, people don't think setting goals, like, for example, like if you can do right now 10 push-ups, most people sit there and they set their goal, I want to do 100 push-ups a day. But it's like, how could you do 100 push-ups a day when you can barely do 15 and have that be a realistic goal? It's like, goals are supposed to make you progress through things, and it gives you that motivation. That's what goals are supposed to do. It's supposed to motivate you, right? Because ideally, there's certain disciplines that you need to follow in order to achieve those goals. So those goals are going to simply motivate you to be more disciplined, right? Motivation is not a good emotion to just have. You don't just want to be motivated, because when the motivation runs out, you might not be able to thug it out, okay? And like the thing about this is too, right? It's like, I see people that leave the car, and the people that leave the car are like dumbest people, because it's like these people are sitting here and it's like, I want trades. But it's like they get all the trades and they blow their fucking accounts because they're idiots and they don't know how to trade management. So it's like, this is the type of call that's going to be the most important. But it's like people sit here and they feel like as dumbass people that have never made any money off trading, they think that, oh, they know better. So it's like, when you really come into this, you could tell who's teachable by who sticks around, right? And who actually asks questions. So if you want to be able to set good goals, like I said, you have to be able to understand the 3 different types of goals. So an A-type goal is the first type of goal you want to set. So for example, if you consistently make 1 to 2 to 3% per week off trading, that's a good A-type goal. That's a good goal to have. Okay? The second type of goal you set is a B-type goal. So you set your B-type goal, and your B-type goal essentially is going to be a goal that maybe you haven't done before, and it's like you haven't done it before, but you genuinely know you can do it, or you think you can do it. So it's like, it's not something that makes you feel maybe intimidated. It doesn't make you feel worried at all. It makes you just feel at ease, like you feel calm. Your C-type goal, that last goal that you're going to set, that third goal, that's going to be the type of goal that makes you be like, oh shit, like, damn, like, you know, the C-type goal is literally you going for, maybe in your B-type goal, your dream car might be a BMW, but then your C-type goal, your dream car is a Lambo, right? So it's like, there's a difference between a BMW and a Lambo in terms of who can be able to afford that car. So your C-type goal is always going to be the end goal. It's always going to be like that end all be all. It's going to be like what we're working towards at the end. So where most people go wrong, most people set their first goal as their C-type goal. So it's like their goal, for example, is to make 100K. But it's like they've never even made 1,000. They've never even made 10K. They've never even made 20K. So it's like there's so many smaller incremental goals before that 100K, but we're so focused on making 100K once that we don't look at the progress of making 50K or making 10K and then making 11K and then making 15K and then making 18K. Like, that's slow incremental progress. That's real progress that you can measure. That's results. So the goals are going to be crucial, but then I want to say the most important thing that you guys need to get into, if you haven't already, is just studying certain information, right? So Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. If you guys haven't gone through that, like, you guys are just not taking your development seriously, because it's like a lot of you don't even know how to learn right now, and that is basically going to teach you how to be a good student. Like, Your Wish is Your Command teaches you how to not only attract what you want, but it teaches you how to be competent enough to learn. But then it teaches you how to be disciplined enough to choose who to learn from. Because you don't just learn from anyone. Like, you can learn from anyone, but you're not just going to sit here and listen to someone who's unqualified and expect to then be a qualified individual in whatever field that you got that information. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So, Your Wish is Your Command. You guys all need to go through that. Another piece of information or books that you guys should go through is the Ryan Holiday trilogy, right? But besides that, the biggest thing that a lot of people are missing in trading is just when it comes down to being able to position themselves. Yeah, cool. A lot of people struggle with positioning themselves, but it's like a lot of people struggle with positioning themselves because of confidence. So it's like if you lack confidence in executing trades, you probably lack confidence in other aspects of your entrepreneur journey. So you have to stop looking at trading as like, damn, trading is just not working for me, and start to look at the habits that you have with your trading, and then start to look at those habits in other aspects of your life. Like, how patient are you outside of trading? Because you might be impatient outside of trading, but you're sitting here and you're convincing yourself you're a patient trader, but in reality, you're the most impatient person ever. So it's like you have to identify where your fault is, because it's like some of you guys suck at being patient, some of you suck at technical analysis, some of you suck at both. But some of you guys are not even bad at any of those things. But what you end up doing is you're getting in maybe just a little bit too early, or maybe you're getting in a little bit too late. And there's certain things that psychologically might be discouraging you, and it's being able to just communicate that. Like, a lot of people just sit here and they keep losing money. It's like, I don't want to just keep losing money and not go to someone who's maybe lost more money than me, or maybe has lost like in different ways than I have, and not learn from their mistakes. I feel like a lot of you guys are not learning from like my mistakes. You're not learning from like people like Silva's mistakes. You're not learning from individuals who have actually gone through these trials and tribulations, like have lost 5-6 figures in a day, in a week, in a month. Like, a lot of you guys trip out over $100 or losing $100. It's like, whatever your relationship is with money is going to dictate your emotional attachment to just the outcome of certain things. A lot of us, the reason why we're not making money trading is because we force an outcome on trading. When you don't have an expectation of trading to make you money, that's when you make the most. But when you sit there and you're like, damn, I want to make this, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's like it could happen, but it's like you can't sit here and say, I want this to happen. It's like you have to act as though it already has happened. So this is where the confusion comes in. It's like, you can't say you want $1 million and then expect to vibrate and attract $1 million, because for you to say you want $1 million implies that you don't have it. So how can you attract what you're affirming you already don't have? And it's like these little things we have to make sense. So self-talk and that self-language is going to be so disciplined. But what I want you guys to do this week is really set a goal trading-wise. Like, what I tell everyone to do is split up your accounts. Have a personal account with anywhere from $50 to $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. Have a personal account, right? Then get a funded account. A 5K funded account costs $50. So you could have two accounts running up and active for as little as $100. If you put $50 in the live and then $50 in the funded, you now have 2 accounts that you can manage. And they're going to be teaching you different disciplines. The funding account is going to teach you how to be able to secure maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% in a day, in a week, using risk management, just being in and out, right? The $50 account, the $100 account that you start with on your live is going to teach you the importance of compounding and building your wealth over time. Because what you're going to notice is, on the funded account, you might start off making more off those withdrawals right away. But it's like within a year or 2 years, you'll probably be making more off of your live account, if I'm just being honest. And only risking like 1%, like nothing even crazy. So when we sit here and we create our goals and we have just our outlooks for the week, it's like you have to sit here and you have to just, like I said, be in alignment with your mentors. It's like, what brokers do you use? Like some of you guys be using some head-ass brokers that slippage, you don't even be realizing that you be getting slipped, right? Broker manipulation. It's like, if you guys need brokers or funding recommendations, like you guys could reach out to me, right? I have a lot of recommendations. I've used a lot of different platforms that to me, you know, are fine when it comes down to just what they offer in terms of just being able to trade in the markets. But at the same time, it's just up to everyone to do their own due diligence, right? Do their own homework. It's like we really have to be in alignment when it comes down to these things so we can progress, because there's a lot of ways to make money, right? There's a lot of ways that you guys could be making money right now. It's like, for example, it's like if you guys make X amount of dollars from a funded account, it's like the money that you can now reinvest into other businesses, or you can reinvest into yourself to be able to market and attract people and basically show them how to do the same thing you're doing. It's like the cycle of information is just so powerful, right? But the most important part I would say is going to be your psychological, it's going to be your mindset. Like, I'm going to be starting to run a mindset call every single week, but basically like this today I wanted to really focus on just where it is that we're going. Like, what we have to understand right now is, okay, in order to change, what we have to do is we have to stop worrying about things that have already happened or things that are going to happen. Like, a lot of the time, people are just caught up being anxious or they're depressed. And it's like, you're anxious when you anticipate the future, you're depressed when you relive the past. So a lot of the times we approach trades and it's like we have this emotional attachment from something that happened previously. Like if we won the last trade, we're feeling ourselves. You might you might up your lot size a little bit because the last trade went your way. And then now it doesn't go your way and boom, you're cooked. Or vice versa. You might have just lost. So now you're lacking the confidence. And then that then reflects into your trades on the market. So there's just a couple things that we have to really emphasize and focus on when it comes to psychology and mindset. And starting next week, like I said, I'm going to start doing lessons that go a little bit more in depth with what it is that, you know, we could really be doing. But in terms of everything overall, right, I'm going to get into kind of the technical side. We're going to go through a couple things. So ideally, we went over this this accumulation a couple times already, so I'm not going to go through it again. If you guys want to go ahead and watch how we caught the buys, go watch Friday, or what day? Yeah, go watch Friday's overview or recap, or watch Friday's live in the morning, because on both of those we actually went over the accumulation. So what I would say is overall on gold, just looking at it immediately, right, I could potentially just see us flying just based off of how we open to start the market. So we feel this insufficiency right in here on the 15-minute, which is on the 30-minute, which ideally is good. I wanted to see potentially us take these lows. We had a little bit of liquidity as well as this insufficiency here. So we definitely could come a little bit lower, right? Ideally, I'm actually looking for us to come down to about this area if we can. But just the way that the market opened, like I said, we don't necessarily have to do that. So kind of looking at immediately kind of where we have to fill, I would expect the market, if anything, if we are just going to fly from this area, to me, I think we do come back and we fill. Like, to me, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually wick below this daily open, because in my opinion, with just having no wick on the downside, this either means one of two things. It either means we're absolutely going to fly today, and there's like when I say fly, like I mean we're going to go. Or to me, what we're doing right now is we're just the beginning of the week, Sunday. What we're doing is we're filling this insufficiency that we have. We're creating as well new targets for us to potentially take on the upside. But to me, what I could potentially see is shorts to start the week, right? Potentially we push up, then shorts dig in to hit out early buyers, right? Sweep out the majority of buyers, right? Understand, most people are not buying in here, down here, right? They're not as good as us to be able to identify these schematics as soon as they're happening. So most people are going to be buying in here in London session. Most people are going to be buying in here. A lot of people got stuck buying all the way at the top of this, right? Waiting for this breakout. And it's just like, they would have ended up getting clapped, right? Imagine buying at 1933 and then price comes down to 1918 literally in the next like hour or two. It's like, could have just waited an hour and you could have had a way better entry, right? So for me, I'm kind of anticipating us to come back down, like I said, and fill this insufficiency to potentially go higher. But overall, I could see us come a little bit lower as well, which makes sense based off of how the daily started with no wick. Like I said, there's one or two things that happen when typically that occurs. It's either we're in for a very bullish day, or we're in for a bullish start to the day, and then we could potentially see a reversal to the downside. But once we do correct and fix this insufficiency, to me, we do have the potential to really continue towards the upside, right? So 4 hour wise, right, just kind of looking at it, I'm looking at this kind of as accumulation as well on the 4 hour. So the fact that we're really, like, to me, this is the spring. This is really the spring on all time frames. So I'm kind of just looking for us to get this continuation. But overall on the 4 hour, we didn't break above yet. Even on the hourly, we never closed above these highs. Like, I wanted to see us actually make it back into this insufficiency area. We just kind of missed 1940, which is kind of where I was looking to take some partials. But overall, the reason why I kind of like the I like the longs was just more because of XAU GBP. To me, it looked like we were a lot more bullish just a little bit earlier, right? And to me as well, we came back into this February-March wick, which is like, we don't normally come back this early into March price action. So the fact that we hit March already, to me, is giving us potential signs that we might actually continue. Like, the all-time high that we currently have for gold, to me, will easily get shattered, right? So in my eyes, I'm also looking at the hourly. And the hourly, like I said, overall, we didn't really break above this 4 hour high, which if you break it down to the hourly, we have this hourly institutional area. We have these couple of up candles before we obviously push down and create that lower low, right, and drive price down. So in terms of this, like, I'd really anticipate the potential. Like, the reason why I like up movement is because even though we didn't break above this high, we didn't actually come in on the hourly. We didn't break below our previous higher low, right? So the fact that we never closed below this on GBP, and the fact that we never closed below this on USD, to me, is kind of giving me signs that, like I said, we're in for a very bullish day. So I'm personally on the longs. Like I said, we've been long basically gold since like Friday. We were looking to potentially see reversals. But with DXY, we've actually, like, if you guys have been on stream for the last little bit, we've been actually bodying DXY for real when it comes down to just catching these insufficiencies, being able to catch these higher time frame. Like, we've just been able to catch this whole daily direction for DXY for the last couple of weeks, and it's been very efficient. So even with DXY, there's a lot of room for us to fill to the downside. But to me, right, we also have this gap here. So it's just going to be interesting to see whether or not we fill this gap right away. Because to me, if we fill this gap, like, let's say right at the beginning of London session, what we could potentially see is just a continuation lower, right, at least into this insufficiency on DXY before we see a reversal. So if that were to be the case, in my eyes, I would kind of look at that as us probably filling this insufficiency and then kind of breaking down from there. So I could see that happening for sure. But overall, what I'm going to be just kind of waiting for is how I want to see how London opens at 3 o'clock Eastern. Ideally, I want to see whether or not we like. I just want to see where we're trading at. I want to see if we came back and we fixed this low of the day yet, or if we still left it. Because if we still left it, to me, that might mean that leading into that London session, we might actually go and correct that. So if we take a look at crypto, because obviously if we're looking shorts on gold, more than likely crypto as well. If you guys were on, I believe earlier this week we were looking at crypto, and I was kind of telling you the same thing, crypto shorts. It definitely looks like we're going to fill this insufficiency right now. It looks like we're starting distro. So realistically, we could potentially see another pop up above this area after we get a little bit of a reaction to the downside. And then in my eyes, we would probably be good to go to see us trade lower. Ethereum looked like it was tickling our area a couple times. So to me, I anticipate at least a little bit lower for Ethereum too. Like in my eyes, I think we're really just gonna come down and correct all of this insufficiency in here, all of this imbalance. We have equal lows, so some liquidity generated right over there. So in my eyes, I think that we definitely have some targets for Ethereum and BTC towards the downside, even as well on the daily. Even though we broke above, to me, we have a daily insufficiency at around 1600. So we more than likely see that get filled before we continue higher. Nas. Right, looks like we got some sell opportunities and some buy opportunities on both. Nas for sure was definitely clean right at 9:30 open. We got a lot of volatility, I believe, on Friday. Yeah, 9:30. So this 9:30 wick was gnarly. Right, I was in shorts actually, and my TP was at 10. It was at 9:18, I think. Fuck, what was that? I forgot, but I'm pretty sure we were able to actually secure longs, right? So before the stream, right, was able to catch the shorts, right, and then during stream on Friday, right, we caught the longs, just out of this insufficiency, right, that we had. I believe it might have been a 15-minute candle or 5-minute candle we were playing, but we had some smaller time frame insufficiency, which we filled fairly clean. I actually forgot about this trade, to be honest. 30 actually filled our lower area and continued higher, so we really got clean, just kind of re-entries on both, right, with the areas that we had marked up. Just being able to kind of just read price action and just see obviously what took place. So 30, I know for me, I got hit break even, right, on this re-entry. But shorts really for 32 were very, very, very clean last week. We caught all the shorts like the whole week. So the indices we absolutely bodied. To me, I would anticipate probably at the beginning of the week some push to the upside to fill in. To me, I still like this target here to then potentially see us continue lower on 30. So a push up to maybe like 34,019 area to then continue lower. Nas, to me, I would say like I like the buys. I like the longs on Nas. So I would say I would be looking potentially a little bit even higher. But overall, I think we probably push into this area. We have some equal highs here. To me, this is still liquidity. So I really could see us pushing up a lot higher towards the upside on the indices leading into the beginning of the week. So I would definitely suggest just being patient, right? I think a lot of people just don't wait for indices at an optimal time. I feel like 9:30 to 10:30 is probably the best time that you could trade indices. You don't really want to be getting in before. But just taking a look at news events that we have this week. Tomorrow, German info, IFO, business climate, right? There's some people speaking in regards to the chef, right? Chairman Jordan, right? Not Jordan Morgan. Even though he's Chairman Jordan too. But we can see Tuesday we got CAD CPI, USD, consumer confidence, right? New home sales. So we're going to see how just the overall housing market is doing in America, which should definitely have some effect on the market. Sugar Daddy Powell, right, speaks on Wednesday, so he's going to make us some money for sure. 9:30 a.m. You know, a lot of people are going to be speaking. So GBP, JPY, and USD going to be going buck right before stream on Wednesday. So that should be exciting, right? Being able to catch that. Thursday, we have unemployment claims. So yeah, this is going to be a news-filled week for sure, to say the least. So remember, news is always the excuse. So just with that, kind of seeing how much news there is this week, what we could expect to potentially see is really a lot of volatility, a lot of upward and downward movement. So this would be a good week to probably pay yourself as we create higher highs and lower lows, just to ensure that you're able to continuously progress and stack your account. But overall, like I said, just looking at the metals, what I would anticipate is just a downward push to kind of start and fill and correct some of that insufficiency, right? Ideally, once we correct this daily wick, this daily gap, I would be looking for longs. But if we break down below this area, I'm looking at around 1915. And the next area I'd be looking, absolutely lowest area I'd be looking is about 1913. If we came lower, to me, we're probably going to fall to about like 18. Like, to me, I don't see us really stopping until 1870, 1880 area. But I could be horribly wrong. But to me, if we push lower than this 1913 area and we close below there, yeah, I don't really see us continuing higher as a whole. But you know, it's just a matter of how low we're gonna go. It's like limbo. How low can you go, right? How low can you go, gold? It's just really deciding whether or not Goldilocks is gonna decide to sweep those lows a little bit more, if we're gonna continue to go higher. But overall, that's really all I'm looking for. Like I said, I anticipate dollar to continue to drop this week. Like I said, be aware of that pop to the upside. That pop to the upside, to me, will be our re-entries to then potentially hold just moving forward into the rest of the week. So I'm definitely excited to just see what the potential is for the market this week. I know that we have live trading 3 times this week. Ideally, I might do another live trade. I might do a pop-up this week, just depending on how many people we get. I just want to make sure that we're able to get, if we get 30 people plus on Tuesday, then I'll run an extra pop-up on Friday, right? Live trading. So let's just do our best to make sure that we promote these calls, because at the end of the day, you sending the call link to someone is you helping someone. And if you understand how the universe blesses you, it's like you helping other people is going to be the reason why you receive blessings in return. So just think about it. If you were in a position where you maybe didn't have access to this information, it's like, would you want to help other people? It's like, you helping other people goes a long way. So if you guys gain any type of value, family, make sure that you guys drop a like. I'm going to go ahead and drop just the markup for the chart in our private Telegram. So if you're a paid student, you're going to be able to get access to this. If you're not, then ideally, tap in. Hit me up. Let's figure out how we can get you tapped into some mentorship that is ideally going to get you the results that you're looking for. But realistically, like I said, this is going to be something that if you're on the call right now, take advantage of this. But I'm going to drop a little bit more in-depth areas into the group chat. But with that being said, family, I love and appreciate you guys. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip. And I hope you guys have an amazing start to your week. Happy Sunday, happy Monday. Take care, family. Peace.